This next review is for a film that one of our what do you call it? Listeners,
acquaintances, friends of the podcast.
He wanted us to watch a movie called Geostorm.
Ned, we watched Geostorm, and here's what I got to say, just to start off. Uncle Frank, is this a joke? Ned, something tells me you were goofing us.
Some tells me you didn't really think this is a particularly good film, but you maybe pretended you did. You thought it was.
To be ironical.
Yeah.
Ned, come on, man. Ned, what are you doing?
All right.
No, but...
So shout out to Ned.
Shout out to Ned. This movie sucks ass.
Oh, man.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And it's not even like a 2 out of 2 bombs bad.
No.
It's just like, it just sucks.
It's just an honest-to-God chore to watch.
All right, so you want to know how I'd sum this up? This is one of the worst movies in one of the worst subgenres.
Oof, that's a big old oof.
Why are tell me why a disaster movie is good ever.
Well, I think
besides the magic of the 90s, Twister is an exception.
I think define good. Like, I think some of them are okay. Like, does Independence Day count?
Absolutely not. There is an alien force they're fighting.
Okay, but that's not a disaster. Like, they blow up the fucking White House. They blow up what else?
Yeah, because aliens blew it up.
Okay, there's other ones that aren't so bad.
It's like, man versus nature, man versus man, man versus wild, man versus beast.
So, Day After Tomorrow isn't that bad. It's watchable.
It's pretty awful.
Really?
It's pretty not good.
Really? I didn't think it's that bad. I just think it's not a classically good movie.
It's like a 2 out of 5. It's
okay.
Very not good, but not garbage.
Right.
My point is, the reason why these movies are usually boring is that without a thinking antagonist, it's kind of hard to get wrapped up in the conflict. Because you know what I mean? It's just, here's a storm. It's just exploding shit, and then people are running away from the explosions.
This felt like, this was like a modern SNL because it's not funny.
Right.
It's like a modern SNL digital short of a Roland Emmerich movie that hasn't come out yet.
Right.
It's like, it's every big, dumb action and disaster movie trope that you've ever seen, and it's played out so shamelessly. Like, they might as well have released this movie with quote-along versions. Yeah. Where they had the little animated bouncing ball bouncing over every quote and trope and catchphrase and line.
Yeah, my favorite, minor spoiler, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
I thought, no, you did not just say that. Because I literally said... Someone's going to say that. I literally said, you son of a bitch, about 5 minutes before it happened. I was like, someone's going to say that.
Man, it takes them so long to fucking find out someone's hacking this thing.
Yeah. Okay, so... well, I'll say this, too. The movie accomplished something that very few movies do. I was bored within 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty...
I don't know what it was about the...
bored within about 5 minutes.
I don't know what it was about the dialogue, but I was just...
It's because it's recycled. It's every bit of dialogue you've ever heard in one of these things before.
It was hard to hear the dialogue.
Yeah.
It was almost like the actors were just embarrassed to deliver the lines because it's so bad.
What's the hook of this movie? It's a fucking court scene between Gerard Butler screaming at the dude from Man of Steel and The West Wing. I can't think of his name. Something Schiff. I can't think of the actor's name. Good actor, but the scene in this disaster movie that's supposed to open all of it out is a scene of just two people yelling in a courtroom.
Right.
And they're not even yelling interesting shit. It's just like, I'm good at my job. No, you're not.
But
I built the place that you're accusing me of being a shitty person at. Well, you're a poo-poo head.
Yep, that's the exact dialogue. No, but it's also kind of convoluted. Like, You'd think something this dumb would be a little easier to follow at first, but then they say, I was the leader of the space team in the space mission, but we want the space team of the space. And I'm like, hold on, what's the space team space mission? What the fuck are you talking about?
Also, Dutch boy.
Yeah. How about this? Led by U.S. and China. More like led by the two biggest box office territories in the world.
Oh, God,
I just felt so phoned in. Well, I mean, we've already pointed out that the dialogue was terrible. A lot of on-the-nose stuff.
I mean, about 80%.
Come on,
of it
little
is.
brother. I mean, we need to tell the audience that you're related to me.
Don't you
especially
remember when
'cause-
this happened and this happened? Come on, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Just like you remember this, and this
Yeah.
too. Like, wow.
There's the one line with Ed Harris. How long have you known me?
Oh my
Like,
God.
where is this coming from?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So many
Like-
bad, screenwriting sins.
Yeah,
Characters saying shit they know each other for.
Painfully clumsy exposition.
Also, just science and physics that don't
Yeah.
fucking work. There's a scene in this movie where a character drives a car into another character's car, T-bones it essentially.
Yeah.
And the car, it goes from being skidding across the pavement to going into a roll almost as if it's downhill.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad and it looks so fake. The CGI is so bad. Holy fuck.
I'll say this. The CGI is terrible on Earth, but the CGI in space was okay.
Was fine. Yeah, and anytime anything on Earth has to collide with Earth, we got issues. Like a car has to blow up or a car has to get hit by a plane or some bullshit.
You know what it is? The animation is so lifeless.
Yeah.
It looks like PS1 graphics.
Yeah.
You know how there's not a lot of give and impact when things hit into each other in old video games? It just felt like doing, doing, doing. Like the cars felt like they were like a bouncy ball or something.
Yeah, or
just,
whenever there's a tidal wave or a blizzard coming in, it just looks like a filter going over everything, and it doesn't really even look like there's anything happening.
No, like everything about it looks terrible. The family drama stuff was awful.
Oof, yikes.
First of all, miscast. That dude who's supposed to be Gerard Butler's brother,
Jim Sturgis.
I thought he was his son at the beginning of the movie.
They're still operating under the notion that Gerard Butler might be in his 30s. Which is like, dude, we've left that train.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, but isn't he almost 50?
I think he might. I mean, he has to be.
I mean, that's what I thought.
He is 50.
Okay, so yeah, like I don't know how old the point is he looks way younger.
Yeah.
I thought he was maybe 30.
Yeah.
So I thought there's a major age gap there. Well, if I had to say anything positive about this movie, Zazie Beetz.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, oh,
she's in this.
Yeah.
And she's actually, you know what? I appreciated
trying
her effort with the horrible dialogue she was given. She did a pretty good job.
Yeah, she was trying for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Secret Service lady wearing earrings and 3-inch heels.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's small potatoes compared to everything else wrong with this movie. So I'll just kind of leave that. We're going right to spoilers. I hate this movie.
We got to do it
so much. Okay, so let's start off. Ed Harris is the bad guy?
Wait a minute.
No way.
Dude, the first time he shows up, I'm like, oh, he's in this?
Yeah, he's the bad guy. Yeah.
I've seen movies before.
I almost feel like casting him in this role. You know he's the bad guy.
You have to, because he's not even in it at all.
I mean,
for the whole movie until the end, and you're like, yeah, I know where this is going.
I could forgive the redirect because it's a common trope and we've just seen too many movies. But using Ed Harris.
What a weird cast overall, too. It's just like Gerard Butler, Jim Sturgis, Ed Harris, Andy Garcia.
Is it Daniel Wu?
Daniel Wu is the whistleblower guy.
Yeah.
And Zazie Beetz. Like, what the fuck is going on with this cast?
There's a real who's who.
And Eugenio Derbez. It's like, what the fuck is this cast?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Okay, also, the thing with him flying the satellite off the space station, why the fuck wouldn't his character have thought of that from the get-go? Oh, we gotta self-destruct. All right, before we do, there's definitely a bunch of satellites we can fly off this thing. Instead, he's like, oh no, I guess we're doomed. Wait a minute, I'm a dumbass and just thought of something I should have thought of, I don't know, hours before it happened.
Also, doesn't it just feel like, I mentioned this earlier, it takes him like 3 weeks to figure out that it's been hacked? Like, that would have been the first thing I would have fucking asked. Like, hey, have we checked the firewall? Like, really? It takes them this fucking, or it feels like 3 weeks. It could be days, but
Also,
my God.
why didn't the Indian guy tell someone?
Yeah, what the hell's going on? Why did he just go off by himself?
I thought he was one of the bad guys.
Yeah, I did
that's
too.
what I mean.
I'm like, oh, he's putting a bug on the fucking... No.
That's what made this movie... It was just
so
poorly
unclear.
made. Yeah, it was really not clear. Mm. And there were scenes I had to watch. I had to watch certain scenes over 3 times because I was just so bored. I was not listening. I don't know why, but for some reason the dialogue, it was just... I can't explain how bad it was.
You're stronger than me. See, I just let the boredom flow through me like rain, and I would fade in and out and be like, what? What's happening now?
I wanted to try and understand, but I think the problem with I guess the dialogue, it was just...
It's not on you.
No, it's
not
like,
your fault.
No, I know. It's just... I feel like it kind of ebbed and flowed between trying to be extremely specific
and trying to be really
vague.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it'd be like, hey man, what's up? Stuff, I don't know. Remember the trifiscalate code to unlock the key to that? Yeah. Oh, by the way, what's up, bro? It's like, what? Who wrote? Why are we going from super scientific stuff to family shit back to scientific stuff to family? It was... God.
The movie doesn't even really have anything going on in it. Like, the real action sequences, like even The Day After Tomorrow or like 2012 have like car chase scenes and like scenes where they gotta climb through like a fucking, flooded area or a snowy area or whatever. Like action, treachery, and like all this shit. But like this is like, all right, we're gonna be on the spaceship for a little bit. Okay, now another shitty disaster happens where people get killed.
It's like...
now we're back in the courtrooms and we're in Washington. Another shitty disaster. And, like, there's a car chase at the end that's not very good, but it's, like, the best scene in the movie. And by that, I mean, like, it's not very good and the CGI sucks.
It's... Compared to the rest of the movie, you're like, at least something is happening.
Yeah, this is an action scene, so Jesus.
Right.
But, yeah, beyond that...
Okay.
Wow.
So when the Secret Service lady... decides to cause a stir, to get everyone out of there. There's about 5 people next to her and 10,000 people like in the arena. Not one person there. Oh yeah, she definitely started all of this. When she shoots the gun randomly and there, shots fired. 2 guys, a lot of maps. Shut up.
If you ever
don't. Oh my God.
If you ever go back and watch this, that scene where Daniel Wu gets hit by the fucking car. You got to watch the reaction. So it goes like this. They're walking up. It's them looking at Daniel Wu walking up. The main dude, the brother, and the Secret Service lady. Then they cut to Daniel Wu crossing the street. He gets hit by the car. Then they cut back to the 2 other people. And Jim Sturgis, the brother, is like, oh, fuck. And he runs over. But if you look at the Secret Service lady, she just, like, pulls out her phone.
Yeah, I thought she was a bad guy.
Yeah, like, she looks like... She's just like, oh... Gonna call the bad guys to come in and pick up the body. I was like, oh, she's in on it. But no, it's just like really wooden acting. Like she's supposed to be and like she's on the phone like, we need an ambulance here. I'm like, that's your we need an ambulance. I'm gonna pull out my fucking phone to call an ambulance. Look, come on, man. Like, why did you sign on to this movie?
Also, what's up with the little brother always looking like he's and sounding like he's about to cry? Like, get a hold of yourself, dude.
Oh, man. Jim Sturgis. He was once on top of this sort of world. He was in 21.
Yeah.
Remember that fucking movie?
Yeah. So, the self-driving car, I wonder who won't be in it when it arrives at the bad guys.
Nice plant and payoff. Also love the scene where Ed Harris, it's like cut to like, we're going to wait for him here. Pulls out the fucking rocket launcher. I'm like,
I was going to say,
this is real intricately planned.
Yeah, I was going to...
This is very delicate, intricate plan.
Guys, the ballistics of an RPG and the damage from natural disasters are practically identical. Nothing's going to go wrong. There's going to be no investigation.
Yeah, there's not going to be any shells or evidence or anything.
No, dude, it's going to work out perfectly.
This is like a 9-year-old wrote a movie. And I don't say that, like, people say that all the time. Like, it's like a 9-year-old wrote this. It's like, no, there are points in this movie where it's like, no, dude, that's not how weather works. Like, it'd be like if I was explaining to my son or my daughter, like, no, bro, that's not how weather works or physics.
That was almost a problem, too, is there are certain times where, okay, for instance, at the beginning, we figured out a way to stop the storms. How? Just like shooting little pills in the ocean.
Yeah, you shoot like they didn't even really show that. Like they didn't ever talk about it. Like they have like lasers and like they had the one
like,
laser
okay,
going
does it
out
make
of the Kremlin.
Grid, or?
Yeah, like what the hell's going on? There's like a big bubble covering the Earth, and like they had this laser shooting down at the Kremlin, but all it did was like turn the fucking. It just like set fire to the one church and fucking. Just like what is going on with this shit? Oh my word!
You know who's the real star of the movie? The Indian kid's dog.
Right.
That's like, how bad is a movie where that's the only character I care about? Like when the disasters were happening in Rio, I thought, I don't know any of these characters. This is boring. And then when the laser beams tearing, I don't know any of these people. When Orlando's on fire, I don't care. But the scrappy little dog, I said, no, not the doggy. Oh, God. I mean, I think it's pretty needless to say that we both would give this identical scores.
I mean, it's
this is like
unless we gave it.
This is a clear 1 out of 5. There's nothing redeemable about this movie.
I gave it a 3.
Right.
It's not a 3 out of 3 out of my heretic score. Yeah. 3 out of 10, which is so probably the lowest thing I've given.
Where's the extra
while.
0.5 come in?
I think the stuff you talked about, like there's some. Like, I didn't mind Ed Harris, seeing him near, like, kind of playing the snarling bad guy. It's always fun. But even then, he's not in it much. Zazie Beetz is fine. Some of it's funny bad, like, especially at the end. Like, it gets really, like, just ridiculous and dumb. But it wasn't enough, so I gotta put it down.
Yeah.
I gotta put it down hard. Yeah. 3 out of 10.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. That's a grand total of
4.5
out of 4. 4.5 out of.
Wait, no.
No, I gave it 1.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. 4 out of 15.
4 out of 15. Congratulations, Ned. We will never take one of your.
You got us.
Well, yeah, you got us. We'll never take one of your requests.
You done goofed us.
Ever again. So that'll do it for our review of Armageddon, but shittier.